The network of its influence is really wide.
I went to California College of Arts and Crafts, and there a friend took me up to the weaving room. When I saw the girls weaving and throwing the shuttle, I was just absolutely fascinated. And with the last $150 I had, I went out and I bought a loom. The first pieces I wove were placemats, hand towels, napkins, utilitarian items. One day, we had heard there was going to be a fantastic speaker talking up in Gurneyville at Pond Farm, and she turned out to be Trude Guermont-Prez.
Trudy Guermont-Prez's father taught at Black Mountain, where she learns to become a weaver. She then leaves Black Mountain and goes to work with Marguerite Wildenhain on Pond Farm. Marguerite Wildenhain had come through Black Mountain as part of the pottery seminar.
Trude was just a fantastic speaker. She talked about things the teachers around here never even talked about, and so I just knew I had to study with her. Fortunately, in the summer of 1954, I was able to study with her at California College of Arts and Crafts, CCAC. Studying with Trude was extraordinary. She opened my eyes to what weaving could be. This is a work of Trude Guermont-Prez, and I kind of love it. One of the things that she really stressed was that the work could be as important as the weft. In my own work, I tried to do the same.
Trude Guermont-Prez inspired Kay to really move away from utilitarian objects into art pieces of incredible ingenuity. There's this marvelous mind and vision that she possesses, and when Kay looks at something, you get the idea it's a lesson in how to look, because she really brings a focus that few people have. She's marvelous that way. Kay has produced these incredible pieces of jewelry, paper, and fiber art.
This is one of my first monofilament hangings. It comes off the loom flat, and it just opens up sort of bulbous like this.
For 50 years, Kay's been recognized throughout the country as an innovator of taste and style in fiber art. Here's one of your marriage sets, an unusual one because the wood is so thick.
I used hornet's nest paper for the paper bowl, and it's so much fun to see it come off the form.
This looks all very natural.
Right, I did that on purpose.
And how did you do that?
Tear the paper. All the paper was torn rather than cut, because there are no sharp edges.
Bob had to make a special mold for that.
Yes, the marriage set was so popular, it kept us busy for years. Bob Stocksdale made molds for me. He made my card weaving boards. He put blocks on my 12 harness looms so that I could reach the treadles with my feet. He was wonderful for me. Before we were ever married, we certainly knew each other by reputation. But I think the only way that we really worked together was when we started making these marriage informed bowls. I would make paper bowls around Bob's bowls. Bob just had a gift for being able to see inside a piece of wood. And it was just amazing. He brought fine woodworking up to the level of art. I was making a lot of paper bowls, and I decided, well, why not try making a leaf bowl? I soak the leaves in this dishpan, and they're soaked for at least a good half day until the stem becomes very pliable. It looks very fragile, but the veins are actually wood, and so it's pretty sturdy. I color a piece of very pure Japanese paper, and I cut it in the shape of a leaf, and they're placed on the mold and glued together. Then I take the leaves that have been soaking, and I just put paste on where the leaf would touch the paper. And then I just put it on the mold. I just sort of slapped it on and then covered it with saran wrap. And then I leave it overnight. When I come up in the morning, it would be ready to remove it from the mold. Bob made me a mold that is called a knockdown mold, so that when the leaves were dry, I would just turn it over and pull out the center of the mold and then the sides of the mold, and I would have a leaf bowl. After my 2 summer sessions with Truda, she asked me, "What are you going to do next?" And so I thought, well, who else could I study with? And then I thought about Jack. Jack Lenore Larson was, well, I would say he was like the golden boy in textiles. And he was teaching at the Haystack Mountain School of Crafts. And so I wrote, and I got a scholarship. And so I found myself at Haystack being Jack's assistant.
These are small pieces. This is a keiseki machi. It's made with nest material, which is a natural paper. These are Bob Stockdale. And this piece is Bob Stockdale. I used to teach every summer for 3 weeks at Haystack. And for many years, my job was to select the faculty. I chose the best. People like Toshiko Takaezu, Annie Albers. I invited Dale Chihuly to start glass blowing at Haystack. And he wanted to start such a school in Seattle. And so Haystack was the model for Pilcha. Haystack became the leader in the craft fields. It was the most beautiful land imaginable, covered with lichens and mosses. The feeling when people came to the school was that we were on a raft and you didn't get off. And it was perfect.
Jack would come in and he would give us an assignment. And then he would say, Kay will help you if you need anything. And so I was supposed to help the other students. Jack was a very interesting teacher. His assignments made you think. These 2 pieces are mine, and I did them in Jack Lenore Larson's class. The assignment was to weave emotional stripes, and we could use as many colors as we want. And so this was my solution to emotional stripes. And Jack looked at this and he said, Kay, that's the most beautiful emotional stripes I've ever seen. And so that really did encourage me, and I was very pleased to hear that. Growing up, I was not a good student, and the only class that I liked was the art classes. I always loved to draw and paint. In fact, maybe that was the only thing that I liked to do. I went to Berkeley Public Schools, and we went to a Japanese church where we studied Japanese and calligraphy. In all our spare time, we would play with paper dolls, made stories around them, built houses for them, and we made hundreds of dresses. They had opera wear, they had ski clothes, they had costumes. I like to say that we were wearing rags, but my paper dolls were wearing designer clothes. In 1941, after Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor, all the Japanese were removed from the West Coast. My mother worked for a family here in Berkeley, and they said they would keep anything for us until we got back. And so the first thing I put in this trunk was my paper dolls, and that's why we still have them. In Taffran, when we got there, nothing was organized. Well, the first time when we lined up for meals, carrying our tin dish and a tin cup, I thought, are we going to survive this? The schools just didn't get put together. My younger sister and I had free time, and so we went out to paint every day.
Kei Sekimachi is a visionary. She's made objects that no one else has ever made. She's used materials in ways that nobody else has ever used them. Her workmanship, her craftsmanship, her concepts are so beautifully, exquisitely rendered, and we're thrilled that she was given the Distinguished Woman Artist Award from the Fresno Art Museum. The exhibition will have pieces that have never been seen before, because we're going back so far into her creative life.
Michelle Ellis Tracy chose what she wanted for the exhibition and then said, whatever else we think should be in the show, she will accept.
Kay's never shown her paper dolls, and they were really the inception of her life as an artist. It's marvelous when we can bring in those pieces to an exhibition.